considering setting up a YouTube channel? We get asked the same questions all the time. What camera do you use? What drone do you use? And how much does a YouTube channel earn? Honestly, it's a lot less glamorous than you think and a lot more technical. So behind all the travel videos, all the sun, the beaches and the glamorous look of what we do, I'm going to show you what kit we use to film our videos, including the good, the bad and the expensive. And then we're going to take a dive into the analytics behind a YouTube channel, ours in particular, and show you how our channel performed over 2025. If you are considering setting up a YouTube channel, then this video might be just for you. It might give you a little bit of insight into what goes on behind the scenes of the Continental Coxons. So let's dive in. So before we begin, I'd just like to thank everybody for all the comments on my little update video where I talked about health and mental health. So really appreciate the concerns and everybody coming out and asking how I am. I'm fine, don't worry about it. I'm just feeling a bit burnt out from the editing, and yeah, there has been a few things over the last couple of years that haven't been great and have affected us a little bit, but I am thinking about doing a separate video on that, so that's something else to come. So if you think this video is going to be useful to you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, which is free. Don't forget to like it and leave us your comments afterwards if you make it all the way through. So we're just going to start first with the GoPro. So this is the Hero 10 and we got this one, we went skiing in Poland, which was about 3-4 years ago now. So this is just a little action camera. So this is the Hero 10, like I've mentioned. Decent little camera, really easy to use. So the battery just goes in here. And you need an SD card as well to go in there, obviously to capture your footage. Lens at the front, and then there's a screen at the back and a screen at the front. So when it's recording, you can actually see yourself, so that's quite handy. We have just upgraded camera, but I'm gonna go on to that later on, or go on to that one last. It has got an inbuilt microphone as well, but I'm finding that it's not great, the sound quality on that. And the reason I'm getting a new camera is because I'm finding that the mic on this isn't very good. So I'm just going to show a few examples of why the mic on this is really kind of disintegrated for me over the last year or two. So here's a couple of examples of why I'm swapping camera. So a lovely looking restaurant up here. It looks really posh. I think Dan's saying it could be quite pricey here. So if you don't already know Dan, he's got the channel called Dan's World. So that's the GoPro 10. Another thing with this I'm finding not very good is the battery life. So the batteries, these are some of the newer batteries, which are the white and black batteries. So these get a better charge, they do last a bit longer. So these are the older batteries, which, to be honest, I'm getting to the point now where it's still got about 75% power and the whole camera's cutting off, which is why I swapped to these ones. And these have been better, but again, I find you're very, very limited on time with these. So I'm probably only getting, what, 20-25 minutes with those, so they are not the best. So if you are going to get a GoPro, I've been using these. If you are getting one of the newer GoPros, they have changed batteries. So I think from is it the 13 or 14 we're on now, you probably won't be able to use these. So these are for the older GoPros. So just something to consider. To go with the GoPro, I've also got this small rig. So this is to put your GoPro in and basically to hook up with the microphones that I've got as well. So you'll see these cables hanging out here. These just hook up to the GoPro and the microphones. So that just pops in there like that and clips onto there, and then that'll go onto a tripod, so that is quite handy. And the reason I've got this is to hook up the external mic that I use. So you do need an adapter, which is one of these. I'll put the prices all at the bottom of these. So this is the adapter you need here. Okay, so any external mics need to hook in, so that just slides in there like that. Click that in that side button, and then you'll have a little microphone or headphone slot there. Just put that in, and then I have an adapter for the mics that I use, which are the Hollyland Lark Max, which I'll get onto in a moment, and that just hooks into the receiver, which I'll show you in a moment. So that's how I use mine. And this is one of the tripods I use. So got like a little clasp for the GoPro, which just hooks onto there, and then you would just hook that in there with a little screw, and that just tightens that onto there. So that all just clips on, and that's how I use that camera. So one of the other audio accessories I've used in the past with the GoPro Hero 10 is this. So this is called Media Mod for the GoPro. I actually broke this when we were in Vietnam, so the audio just doesn't work on it anymore, and I lost this little thing on the back of a motorbike, so this come off. I had to get a replacement. Not long after I dropped it, and it just completely stopped working. So basically all you do with this one is your GoPro just goes in there, it hooks up, and all the audio comes through this and records through the GoPro. And obviously you've got the wind muff there on the top, which is essential, especially if you're kind of like on a boat or if you are on a motorbike like we were. So this was a great little thing to use, but the audio quality wasn't so great on that one. So yeah, that's another option for that. This is for the older GoPros that we've used in the past. So other GoPro accessories to charge the batteries, and this is mainly for the newer batteries that I've been using that I mentioned before. This is a 2-split battery charger. So it's just a USB, so it plugs in any USB plug and the batteries just go into there. So that's a great little option, and that charges them faster. And also I have this little box which I got with just some knockoff GoPro batteries. I've got the newer ones in there at the moment, so it charges those as well. And again, it's just a great little carry case what I use for carrying my batteries around. So even if I'm not using this to charge, then it's just a great little thing to carry your little batteries around. And this little thing, I got a pack of stuff from Amazon for the GoPro when I got it. So things like chest straps, head strap. I use this one if I go swimming. So this is quite light. It just floats on the surface, so if I drop it, it just floats back to the surface, because obviously if you're in the sea and you swim and it comes out with your hand, then it could drop to the bottom of the ocean, which I've seen happen on a few videos before, but this will just float back to the surface. So that's quite a good little thing. So in this pack that I got this nice carry case, items in there. There's another small rig in there, got this with it. I've got about, I think it was 50 accessories in here. And again, just a cheap make, nothing fantastic, but for what I use it for, it was great. I will leave all the links to these in the description of the video below, so you get an idea of prices, and also it helps us out because we do have an associate link with Amazon. Okay, so the next camera I've been using is the Canon G7X Mark III. So this is a really good vlogging camera. So again, this just flips up, so you've got a screen here, so when you're recording you can see what's going on. There's loads of different functions on here. Apparently this is great for if you want to do live streams and things like that, but I think you need like a battery pack. What I found with this one is when I was doing our videos in Vietnam, I used this one nearly all the time, other than when we're doing sort of action stuff on the back of motorbikes and things like that. I found that this camera was overheating quite a lot, so I tend not to use this one very much. You can take photographs with this as well, but again, I haven't been using it much, and I am actually considering maybe getting rid of this one. Again, great, it just gives some of your videos like a bit of a documentary feel. So I really do like this camera, and again, it extends out at the back, so you can kind of see what's going on. You can zoom in on this one, really easy to use. You can just pick up and go with this one. But again, I haven't used it on any of our recent videos, mainly because it just keeps cutting out after about 10 minutes of use. So it's not the best in terms of that. Okay, so looking at the drone, I have the DJI Mini 4 Pro, which is a great little drone. I actually got this after Turkey. I originally had the DJI Mini 2, which was a great little drone, but it did have its limitations. I found just kind of like flying a little bit of distance, going 500 meters, I was losing signal with the controller, so that wasn't great. But with this drone, I ended up getting this pretty much brand new when it come out. Great drone, records in 4K, it can track you. It came with 3 batteries, so you get this charging pack with it, and the remote control which is a Pro control. So this actually has the screen on it, as opposed to the Mini 2, which I actually had to hook my phone up to the remote controller. So that was a bit of a hassle when you're on the go. But with this, you just kind of switch it on and everything's done through the screen on here and transmits from the drone. So I got this on Amazon at the time in a great little pack. I think this was the combo. So it comes with the drone, the batteries and the controller, all in this handy little carry case. But remember, don't leave it on the plane like I did flying out to Zante. A few too many Prosecco's. So that's really handy and a great carry case for carrying around. So that's great. Okay, so in terms of audio, so some of our early series, I was using this Movo called a shotgun mic, which just hooks up just your normal kind of connections here. So basically that just plugs into there, and then that would plug into your phone, or you're using the Media Mod, it would plug into one of these sockets here. But that was just what I was using. I was probably using my phone at the time when I was using this, so that was quite handy for that. But the mics we use now are the Hollyland Lark Max. So these are wireless mic. It comes with a transmitter and two different mics, and there are wind muffs in there. I lost one in Zante, so I can't find one anywhere else, but I'm finding that those mics are pretty good. Audio is pretty good, you're getting a good range. So they do hook up to the camera I'm using now, the new camera, and hooks up to your phone, hooks up to any kind of camera equipment we've used before. So these are great, and I think I got this as a pack. Does come with like lots of the connections, the wires and all that kind of stuff, adapters, and I think that was about £240. But again, I'll leave all the prices at the bottom here where I got them in terms of Amazon, and I'll leave all the links in the descriptions for these. Okay, so now you've captured all your video, you've got your content, you've got your audio, you've got your drone footage. It's time to transfer the files and edit the videos. So what kind of editing software do we use? Okay, so when we first started out, I was pretty much using my phone to edit. I had a great little editing software thing on there, which I was just kind of using around the pool. So when we were in Skiathos, that's what I used. I think I used my phone when we were in Poland as well, when we did our skiing trip. But to edit, ever since the Krakow and Zakopane series, I've been using the HP. So with this, we had an editing tool called Filmora, which was by Wondershare, which was a great little tool, great for starting out editing, because I hadn't had any experience at all with editing. I just learned from YouTube videos, other YouTubers, just kind of looking to see how they edited their stuff. So that was great. Cheap, it only cost me about £25 to £30 a year for the subscription, and there were little add-ons which I was paying about £10, £9.99, something like that a month. So that was for all different titles, transitions, all different effects you could use. So they were really, really good, and you could kind of unlimited, so you had access to all their kind of back catalogue of everything in there, which was great. But ever since we started doing work for Hello Sunshine last year, I knew I was going to need something a bit more powerful, because that HP laptop was slowing down a lot. So it wasn't doing what I needed it to do. I needed something quicker, something more efficient, something that was going to cut through the videos dead quick, just a better, stronger editing tool with a faster processor. So I ended up with the Apple Air Mac last year. So this is a great little like laptop, really great for carrying around, because I do transfer my videos across from my SD card onto my hard drive when I'm away, just to clear space on my SD cards. So this is great, it's light, dead easy to use, just flips up like that and it'll switch itself on. So on this, I am using an exclusive Apple editing tool which is called Final Cut Pro. Again, really simple, really easy to use, it's not complex, It's just drag and drop, you can add music on, you can put titles in. It's really, really easy to use. It did take us a little while to get used to, obviously because I was so used to using Wondershare that much. It's pretty much the same kind of software, just different titles and stuff's just in different places. So that's what we are using for our videos at the moment, to give it that kind of professional look. So I hope that's given a little bit of insight into the equipment we've used. Yes, I don't carry all this stuff when I go because I probably need a whole new suitcase. But I'm just going to talk about the new camera we're just getting, and I'm actually recording this on there now. So I have now got the DJI Osmo Action 6 camera. I've been reading really good things about this. So like I explained before, I've been having a lot of problems with the GoPro in terms of sound with the internal camera. Sometimes if I'm just getting out of a car, the mic, I haven't got time to hook the mics up. If I just want to quickly grab something, grab a shot, it's not great. And like I say, I probably showed you a couple of examples there where the sound's all muffled. So I've been reading a lot of things about this recently. It's just come out. So this is the Osmo Action 6. So the good thing about this is the battery life, and this is one of the main reasons I got it. So the battery life on this, apparently the batteries last up to 4 hours, whereas I'm only getting about 15-20 minutes off some of these GoPro batteries, in particular the old ones, which were dropping off at like 75%, and these ones may be lasting half an hour or so. So that was one of the reasons. Another reason for getting this camera is apparently it shoots at night time. So there's a super night mode on this where it brightens up the images at night time. So you've probably noticed when we've been doing stuff at night time, when we've been doing our series and filming more content, especially if we're in restaurants or in bars, it's usually really, really dark. And sometimes you can hardly see us on there. So one of the reasons we got that is for this. So this has just been delivered. I'm actually filming on that now. So hopefully it's going to turn out well. Again, my audio system hooks up to this, and we're getting to the time of day as well where the light's starting to fade a bit. So I may be able to do a comparison between the GoPro and the new Osmo. So we'll get to show you the difference in quality in low light. So hopefully that will help out as well. Right, so all I want to do now is just do a little comparison of the GoPro in low light and the DJI Osmo 6 in low light. So I've got these images together on the screen so you can see a direct comparison of how this looks. So obviously on the GoPro Hero 10 you can see it's very, very dark and grainy, whereas on the DJI Osmo I've put it on super night mode and it looks absolutely superb. So what does this mean? Basically going forward, if we continue to do our restaurant and bar reviews at night time, we've got the benefit of having the option on the DJI Osmo 6 to film at night, which is brilliant, which means you don't have to take a light with you and you're not startling people in bars and restaurants with a big bright vlogging light. Also, one of the benefits of the DJI Osmo 6 is that if you forget to put your SD card back in there, say for instance you've been out filming a video the day before and you take the SD card out to transfer the files onto your computer or hard drive, and you forget to put that back into the camera, you go out filming, you realise you forgot it, you do have the benefit of having that 50 gig of storage in the Osmo 6. So for me, it completely makes sense to swap over to this new camera, and I'm really looking forward to using it on a brand new series. So I hope that gives you an idea of the equipment we use. Nothing flash. Some of the stuff, yes, can be expensive, and that's obviously going to take us into the next bit, which is how we earn money on YouTube and the analytics behind that.